This little live stream is short and sweet, but it's very powerful. I am Neil Molokai Mystic with my sidekick over here.
I'm Nick with my angels.
And what we do on this video is we have been talking a little bit about the quote of the day. So, Nick, what is the quote of the day from my book, Answering the Call Accidentally on Purpose?
The quote that I chose for today is: we are constantly evolving, learning, teaching, growing, and ascending. And the reason I picked this quote is because, actually, there are two reasons. First, we both are constantly learning new things, registering for new courses. We actually have a course coming up soon we are going to attend together, and we at the same time are teaching courses. So it's sometimes people ask, like, you're teachers but you at the same time take courses. So it's important to, I mean, for others to understand that we are constantly learning, and if we can teach, it doesn't mean that we know everything. We have always something new to learn. And the second reason I chose this is because I have a question. It's about, when you say growing and ascending in the book, I want to understand what is ascending. And sometimes I see people say, uh, since my awakening. What is my awakening? Does it happen once? If you say we are constantly ascending, then what is the awakening if we are constantly awakening? So I thought there is something to learn in this briefly, please, Janil.
Short and sweet. Shut up, Janelle. Okay. So there is a difference between the awakening process and the ascending. And that's a good question because people do get that mixed up. And that awakening is when you become aware that there is more to you, there is more to the world, there is more to your existence, there's more to your purpose, even though it's in the now, is there is more. And you awaken to that. And then in the ascending part is when you are allowing, you are open to the growth, to the not just the normal physical growth that you knew before the awakening of the infinite more, but now you are open to the experience of the infinite. So, in that ascending, as you are open to that, then you receive those downloads. You receive more awareness of the divine aspect in life. It's a walking in trust, even when you don't see the pathway. It's a in the awakening aspect of it is when you remember the true divine being that you are, and then you nurture it. And this is where the ascension aspect starts coming in. And the ascension is a constant evolution of expansion and ascending and connecting and allowing yourself to receive the infinite more in the messages and in your own actions. You know, there's a collaboration that takes place now. You're not alone walking this earth. It's, yes, you help the growth of a child on the earthly realm, that human aspect, that divine vessel that walks. But there is the spiritual ascension where now you are nurturing and allowing your higher self. See, we take care of the youth and the children, you know. Our higher self, our divine team helps us with the ascension aspect of it. But first, you have to awaken. You know.
But I mean, when can we say that, okay, I get it, I understand the infinite more you're talking about? Like, yes, we are constantly ascending, but when we will get there, you know, when are we getting getting
Every
to?
once you allow yourself to be open to remembering, you begin to get it. You will never get it fully because it's infinite. You know, when you trans when you transition, that's when you get a taste of the infinite more that is. You know, that's when you really experience the all that is. The it's infinite. You know, it is really, really more than the words can describe because it's a combination of when I look at my mandala, you know, and I was trying to explain to you the mandala. It's kind of like that with ascension. It's like every aspect of it. When you consider light language, now you've heard me speak light language, but you haven't seen the light language, okay? Because for me, when I speak the light language, I also see the light language. And every line, every syllable that comes out, every sound, every vibration is just a doorway to, it's a gestalt. It's a gestalt to the infinite more. In other words, if I was to give you a word and say, land. Well, land could mean anything from a valley to a mountain. You know, it has a broad aspect to it. So when you think of when do we get it, how can you get the infinite? You see? So this is why we're constantly evolving in this. There is always more. So the gestalt is what you know of in that moment, but be open to flipping it, standing it up this way, expanding it, stretching it. Anything you could possibly think of is a possibility, you know. So this is where I'm saying with the ascension and when you say, when do we get it? You're constantly getting it. But when are you complete? That's when the that's when you transition.
And is taking all these, like learning from others, is it part of the ascension, or is it not a necessary step?
I believe it is a necessary step. I think allowing yourself to be open because remember that these opportunities for classes, courses, webinars, videos, books, all of these are resources to trigger and expand that remembering of what you already know, you know. And so what happens is when we go and we say, okay, I'm both student and teacher, we're not only being open to learn from the way shower that is leading the webinar, we're being open to learn from our own students, those that we feel we're teaching. But most teachers learn the most from their students. If there were no webinars, no classes, how would this connection take place? Be I learning from the instructor or the instructor learning from me? You know, so this communion of resources, of wisdom, is a shared expansion because we're all connected. So, are classes important? Absolutely. Sometimes you find that the class really didn't teach you anything that you didn't already know, but what it does do is validate for you what you already understand. And that in itself is empowering and expansive.
I got an image in my head. I remember the puzzle you were
Mm.
talking about before. You were talking about the puzzle in a different context, but I got the image of the puzzle where, as we are all teachers, but each one knows something of the infinite more. And this something is a piece of the puzzle. And it's like the infinite more is all these pieces. And if everyone shares his piece, we can kind of
You
complete
get the
the
higher
knowledge.
perspective.
We, yeah, we get the knowledge, the complete knowledge, like, and you can gather all these pieces from everywhere. It's not like one is better than the other, and we're not learning from someone because they are better than us. They just have a piece of puzzle that we don't have.
Yeah,
So I like
absolutely. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
We are all both student and teacher. We're all evolving, expanding, ascending, growing, sharing, loving. We are all that light. We are constantly evolving, learning, teaching, growing, and ascending. You know, and I love the image again. God, you picked the best images for these quotes. You know, that infinite light. You know, this is what we seek. This is what we teach. This is what we hunger for. You know, um, this is home. So, yeah. So thank you for choosing this particular quote today. It's a very deep subject, and it is an ongoing, ever present, valid statement, I believe.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
And
All right, guys.
hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow.
So, everyone, this is your one little key to the treasure, and I hope that it helps support you and gives you a little bit of food for thought. So, um, you know the answers, and let the words and the quotes move you, bring something up for you, bring you deeper, deeper in touch with yourself. So it is aloha from me.
Good night from me.